Hi, I'm Andy Berger, founder and chair of Voices Against Trafficking. Do you know that every 40 seconds in America, a child 18 years and under is abducted?
All the way over, keys.
Can any of you spot the potential mistakes that our intended victim made as she was walking to her car in the parking lot? Stick around. Later in this episode, we're going to teach you how to never be a victim.
So now we're heading out. We're going to go to hopefully interview some folks and see what they know about the human trafficking issue in Central Oregon.
Like, what would you define human trafficking as?
Any kind of movement of people against their will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People getting kidnapped, isn't it?
Being sold for your body or your sexuality to somebody else.
So people being kidnapped and used against their will for sexual acts.
I'd say like modern slavery.
I would say forcibly making people do things that they don't want to do.
Children, young women sold into a cycle where they're sold to people, companies for their bodies.
For lack of a better word, like sold and kind of forced to do things that they don't want to and against their will and kind of disappear.
Somebody being held against their will and who can't access their own personal freedom.
Yes. I would say that for profit and personal gain.
Does it really happen in my neighborhood? I get that question a lot. Every 40 seconds in the United States, a child 18 years and under is abducted. They're taken, they're lured into something that looks safe every 40 seconds. That could be your child or your niece or your nephew.
Do you think that it's a problem here in Central Oregon? I haven't lived here for too long, but I know I-5 is one of the major trafficking points, which is literally an hour away.
Yeah.
So I would assume there's some around.
Yes.
I wouldn't think that there is.
I think it's a problem everywhere, isn't there?
I would say it's a problem around the world, not so much just here, right? It's everywhere that it's a problem.
I do not know. That's a good question. I would say it's everywhere.
I've just read articles that talk about that there's human trafficking that goes on in many places, especially close to home, and we think about it as a issue that is far away or in other countries, but actually there's a lot locally that happens.
I just moved here, so I honestly don't know, but I just came from South Carolina, and that was a huge problem there.
I've actually heard that it is a problem.
Yes.
Probably. I notice in restrooms in restaurants there are signs saying, do you feel like you need help? Are you lacking freedom?
I personally haven't experienced anything about that myself, but I've definitely heard in Central Oregon that's been happening.
Guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedules to meet with us today. This is so important. I just want to say thank you. Before we get started with our agenda though, I like to offer the people I meet an opportunity to put the National Human Trafficking number into their phone if they don't already have that. So, while you're putting it in, the number is 1-888-3737, 888. While you're putting that in, it's just having it in your phone as an easy access. When you watch something going down and you don't have access to the number, it's one more reason why not to report. And I'd love to just eliminate that. So thank you so much for doing that. That's really helpful. Okay, so first on our agenda, your assignment was to go and find information on missing people, starting there. Kind of illuminating, kind of really needed. So Erica, you want to start us off with what you found?
Sure. So I wanted to know the top 10 states that had the most missing people. A couple of them I wasn't too surprised about, but I was more curious to know if Washington or Oregon would be on that list. And so, surprisingly enough, both of them actually were.
Wow.
Yeah, on the top 10. Washington had over 600 missing people, ranked number 5, and then Oregon's actually ranked number 8 with over 400.
Wow.
That's
Out of 50 states.
Yeah.
I was just kind of surprised.
Yeah.
It's shocking to think that these are
not just numbers. They are statistics, but these are real people.
Right.
I couldn't even imagine, even if just one of those was somebody that I knew, I feel like I would look at it differently.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the statistics I found was that there are 90,000 people missing in the United States at any given time.
Wow.
Yeah. And the 10-year average is 600,000 people per year.
That is shocking.
600,000 people in a year.
Yeah. When I was looking, I saw that too, and it blew my mind. And then I kind of assumingly thought like most of those people would be women because they're more vulnerable, or maybe don't know as much to protect themselves. But I was so wrong, because 52% of those victims are men and 48% are women. And then out of that, 60% are adults, and then 40% are children.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so we know that kids go, or people go missing for various reasons. The one that I looked up, NISMART, was referring to children. I think I sent you guys the stats for those. There were like 5 basic things that they will look into. Popcorn style, let's see how much we remember.
Family abductions.
Okay.
Stranger abductions.
Okay.
Ran away and thrown away.
That's one of the lost, injured, stranded.
Okay.
And then I saw like a bunch of like misunderstandings, like weird situations happening.
Okay.
Was one of them.
Good job.
And I know that of those reported, they're normally found or actually weren't missing at all. But still, I feel like this is all information that we need to know.
Absolutely.
I was looking too, and it said that 2,700 of those people that are missing remain missing, and then out of the ones that are discovered, or like found, their bodies are unrecognizable. So the ones that do get discovered out of the 2,700, they can't even identify who they would be.
Sad. Yeah. One of the, kind of related to that, one of the surveys that I saw at the time of the survey, 40,000 human remains or parts of human remains were unable to be identified. And on top of that, 44,400 unidentified remains are found each year. It's hard to imagine what these people, like how long they're missing or what they have to go through to be at the point that they are unidentifiable.
Right, and that's 4,400 families who will never get closure.
Wow. That's sickening. Yeah. Also, too, something that I found was 2,300 children are missing in America right now. And in the state of Oregon, 64 children.
Wow. What's crazy is that like we don't hear about that. Until I looked it up, did I ever find anything? I had to go and look. Well, we don't hear about anything that goes like missing other than an Amber Alert, and then it's over. You never know if that person is discovered or not.
Even the Amber Alerts are so few and far between.
Yeah. I never gotten 64 Amber Alerts in my life.
Right.
Right. Not
That's
today.
true.
And then you never even hear if they were found or not.
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy. And this is the reason why we want to bring attention to this issue.
Yeah.
It is so important. A lot of people will see the darkness, but it's over there, and they don't want to touch it, they don't want to taste it, because that's frightening. That is a frightening reality. So if we can bring attention to this, we can help people so that the people who are in this will be helped, saved, rescued, families will get closure. But most importantly is that we will be able to teach people how to protect themselves and their family. I think that is the biggest win that we can have out there.
Yeah.
Great job on the stats, guys. Good job. I'm super proud of you. All right, on to the next thing on our agenda.
With that awareness, do you guys do anything to protect yourselves or your family, or like raise awareness?
Nope. We just did last night. We were camping. And we're like, got our little spot already, and then this van does a big loop around the parking lot, so we put up our hoods and tuck up our hair, and we're like, do we look like men?
Yeah. Oh, that's smart.
And then we're like, Men don't ever have to think about looking like men.
I'm just alert in general. I've lived in New York City. I have a sense of my personal space.
Making sure that I know where my kids are at all times, and making sure that, like, if they are at someone's loved one's house that I know of, that it's always a constant communication with them.
Like at school, we kind of learn about it a little bit.
I usually have my boyfriend with me, or
That is a good source of protection.
don't get too drunk, watch the drinks, watch your drink when you leave it somewhere.
Yeah, I always keep myself kind of safe. I always keep something on me to protect myself. I have like the Ben non-emergency number in my phone.
You do? Awesome.
And just kind of always letting someone know where I am and where I'm going to be.
Definitely being with a supportive group of people, knowing who you're hanging out with, not going out with strangers. And then, I mean, knowing basic self-defense is always helpful. I mean, if you have the resources to do it, I would definitely say to do it.
You just don't hear about it as much until it happens to you.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the same with any crime. You know, it can feel safe until it happens to someone you know, then you know it's there.
Human trafficking is one of the most misunderstood evils in society. The reason being that people think it happens other places, not in my neighborhood, not at my school, and yet that is not true, and we know that because we have documentation and statistics that show every state in the union and beyond has human trafficking. And so our goal is to create greater awareness, and with Voices Against Trafficking, we are reaching into your neighborhood, into your community, and past the borders of states and countries even, to help create that awareness so that your child or your niece or your nephew is not the next victim. I know about being victimized. Long before there was a term for human trafficking, I was trafficked by all immediate family members and some extended family members from 6 months to 17 years old. I was 5 years old the first time I tried to take my life because the abuse, the torture, the sexual violations were so great, and I had no one to reach out to. In the early 60s and 70s, they simply didn't have anything. But God interceded in my life on that curb of my house. For other people, it's something else, but for me, I heard this voice that said, "This is not the plan I have for you. Suicide is not the answer." And for a kid who had no reason to trust anyone at any time, I believed and I trusted that voice. So no car came by that day, and as I looked into the big blue sky, I thought there's got to be someone bigger than the people hurting me. And I went back up to the garage and I leaned against the door, and in that moment I said, "If you keep me alive, I'll do whatever you call me to do." I was 5 years old, and life was not easy. I tried a couple more times, but at the end of the day, God always showed up. And at 17, that was the last time my birth mother tried to kill me. So through all of that, I decided I knew I had a purpose in life, and I knew that I wanted to help kids that were here that were like me, but I didn't know how. So I finished school, which was very important to me at the time, because that's the only place I got any affirmation about who I was in the world. So I went to college, I finished early, and then I thought, you know, I'm gonna go to law school because I can save all the kids. And when I got there, I realized that that justice system was not the justice system I was looking for. Because like behind me, the evil and the abuses and trafficking and everything we knew that was bad and ugly was not being dealt with. Judges would send kids back to the abusing parents because all kids belong with their parents, and that is not necessarily true, especially with familial trafficking. Familial trafficking, family members trafficking their own, is harder to get reporting on, it's harder to catch because the birth order, the birth line, the bloodline covers the perpetrators. Now imagine all the lockdowns and all the crazy things that are happening where both victims and predators are in the same place. There is really very little hope for those victims, but we are changing that because in your community, we're trying to help you understand what you can do, what solutions are, things that don't even cost money that you can do right now today. And of course, there are organizations like ours that are nonprofits working really hard, but collectively together, we can be that one voice against human trafficking. And we want to invite you to be part of that.
all the way over, all the way over. Keys, keys.
Wow. Is it really that easy?
It really is. I deal with this every day. In my line of work, I train people not to let that happen to them.
Yeah.
And in this circumstance, the bad guy came out of nowhere. She didn't see him. She's gone. Abduction. See you. Bye.
That makes me sick to my stomach.
It really is. And you got to put yourself in different situations. One, A, you never want to see this happen to anybody you care about, or even people you don't know. That's why we do what we do for a living. For him, nobody was paying attention to him. You know, he's the creepy guy in the parking lot. And she's the soccer mom going to her car not paying attention. You know, she's got work on her mind, or her kids, or going home to cook dinner, looking down, and he's right behind. In the car she goes.
Like this could have been
Statistic.
me at the grocery store the other night.
Absolutely.
Where I'm not thinking of those things. So I want to unpack this a little bit more with you. My name's Erica Jackson, and I'm here with Hunter Allen. He's the owner of TIG Tactical, and we're going to see what he does and kind of dive deeper into that.
I train people realistically to defend themselves against any and all forms of violence, no matter what, whether the perpetrator is armed or not. In this case, we have the bad guy, as I said. He's just looking for opportunity. He's looking for an easy target. Bad guys don't prey on people that can fight back, and they don't expect anybody to fight back. And I am a firm believer, each one of us is responsible for our own personal safety. 911 wouldn't have saved her, period.
Wow, okay, I want to be able to do that. But she's so much smaller, so, and how did she not freeze? I feel like...
Training, Erica.
Okay.
Fight or flight comes in with everybody. 99% of my clients, when they come to me, they freeze. They'll stand there and say, I could never do that, or they don't believe they could do that. You have to train so it's an immediate reaction to eliminate a threat. And that's exactly what she did. The threat was Dave. He's a lot bigger than her. He came on her. She looks up. He's 1.5 feet taller. Go for the head. Go for the eyes. Go for the jawline. Come underneath the glands. They hurt. If you take your own thumb, push up in a gland. Give it a good shove. Feel that? She used a key and she stuffed him underneath here as she grabbed his facial hair and turned him away. Very, very effective. Go into the car. She saw him coming in the reflection of the car. You know, safety tips for everybody, especially the women out there, because a lot of women, sorry, but when you walk into your car, you're not paying attention. I see you in the parking lot all the time. Situational awareness is huge. Look around you. Know where you're walking. Know who's behind you, who's in front of you, who's next to you. As you approach your car, look in the back seat. Nothing wrong with that. Many women are abducted out of their car because they're not paying attention to what's there. Listen. What are you listening to? Don't be distracted. Don't be on your cell phone. Have your car keys in your hand, ready to rock and roll. You might have just saved your life. Simple, simple tips that do work. If you were going to hold your keys as a weapon, how would you hold them? Okay, now what would happen if you struck me like that?
It would stab you.
Okay, check it out. Let me see your hand. Don't let go. If you hit me realistically like this, the key may break, or this could tear the web between your fingers.
Oh.
Hold it like this. About 1/4 inch. That's what I want to see. You don't want too much, because A, if you do stab me and it goes into me, I'm going to bleed. You're going to get sticky and you're going to get slippery. Sounds gross. Yes, it is. Hold it right here. With this, just even a wrist. Not going to hurt you. But feel that little bit of pressure right there? Dig it in. You will go where I want you to go. Underneath the neck, as we saw in the video. She grabbed facial hair, so I'm just going to hold you, and I'm going to come up underneath there. Are you going to turn for me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have rib cage, you have soft tissue under the neck, you have bone, you have shoulders, you have wrists, joint manipulation. This little booger will save your life. If you don't have this, what could you do? We don't have keys. Use your thumb. Same thing. Take your thumb and just stuff it in my gland and turn me that way. There we go. Instant pain, it hurts, it works.
As human beings, we have 3 choices. Do good, do evil, or do nothing. We have a district attorney in Central Oregon who has publicly stated human trafficking doesn't happen here, and he doesn't prosecute it. He also has stated that if you're 18 and older and you're a prostitute, that you chose that. And I'm not really sure I believe that a child grows up saying, oh, I'd love to be a prostitute, you know, when I'm old enough, right? A lot of times, victims are forced into that. They may have reported, they may have been thrown in jail. If you truly believe that that person will kill you, as I did in my own situation, you won't do anything to disturb it. You may try to find ways to escape it. Is somebody being bought off or paid to say, hey, our area is so great, we don't have these crimes here? I don't know.